I'm Spike. This is Liz. This is Pepper and Violet, and we are sitting in Green Bean, our 2011 international school bus. We've been living in it for about 2.5 months now. So I made this slide out table here so they can sit on the stairs and use this. So it goes under into a compartment. It goes through this cabinet and then through the bench. Just super simple plywood, just sliding right on the floor. Came to me in a dream.
So all of our benches here are have storage in them, so they're pretty deep. So we built them kind of deep so they have storage. This one, the one over here, and the one over there open. And the other thing that the benches kind of hide is this one has seatbelts underneath to buckle in the car seats for the kids when we're driving around and traveling. It's a chalkboard, so the kids could do writing and stuff on that. So just more utilization of space in a tiny area.
Part of our light system is all hidden behind here, and part of the utility of that is that it's actually hiding a big bundle of wires that run turn signals and brake lights and flashers and everything. This is cedar. It's a 1/4-inch tongue and groove drilled straight into the metal studs. OG van lifer told me that I needed an air conditioning, so I took heed of that, and we got one. And I cut a hole in the roof, which felt really wrong, cutting a 14-inch square hole straight through the roof, and it just clamps in there. But so far, it's been really sturdy, no leaks. It works pretty well, cools it down. It actually has a heating element in there, so it will throw off a little bit of heat too.
I see a lot of the schoolies that have, the stove in them or whatever, and we didn't think we needed it because we're not trying to stay anywhere too cold. You buy a new house that you can't quite afford and send your kids to, like where we live, public school was not an option, so we had to send them to private school. So you send them to private school, you buy a house you can't quite afford, and it seems like you're just on this hamster wheel. The nice thing about traveling on the road is that you're different places every day, but you can also, spread things out. So even with homeschooling, everything doesn't have to fit into Monday through Friday, so you can do different activities on Saturday or Sunday, and kind of similar thing with work. So I've been able to, spread out some of my work even if it's on the weekend, but we get to see some pretty amazing places by doing that.
The kitchen was pretty simple. We basically just got a fridge that a friend gave to us, kind of a smaller one. It pulls like 900 watts, so a little bit better than a full size.
So far, the outdoor grill and stove has been good enough. The toaster oven we used to make cookies today, so that's been okay for an oven style. But mostly the places we've gone, it's been warm enough so that we can cook outside. Baskets up here that we do a lot of storage. We found little racks that hang up on the doors, and then under the sink and on the side. So far, we go grocery shopping probably once a week. This door opens right here. And so we can take this and do an outdoor shower.
We tried to get a pretty large sink so we could possibly use it as a bathtub for the kids. One thing that I might think about changing if I were to do it again was that I'd want the sink to have a steeper pitch to it. A lot of times we're not parked on level surfaces, and so the water doesn't quite drain out of the sink perfectly. There's a little bit of buildup in the corners and stuff. So if I were to do it again, I don't know exactly how I'd do it, but I'd figure something out. One of the things I was really excited about was that the bus really enabled us to spend the most time with our children. I really enjoy spending time with them and hanging out. And kind of having a traditional house and a traditional job, I wouldn't have seen them very much because they go to school during the day and they come home and we have dinner and then they go to bed. So the bus has really enabled us to kind of, homeschool, but we're also hiking every day. We're hanging out every day. It's been really great. The kids were really, really excited about their bunk beds and kind of living in the bus. So I was trying to figure out how to incorporate a ladder onto it. And then we were talking about it and we just kind of decided maybe some climbing holds would be better. So me and Pepper put them in, and when they first got in, she couldn't get up, but she figured it out pretty quickly. And now she's quite proficient at climbing up. And then I just put a quick shelf in here, and they each got their own electrical outlet.
I took a picture of every place I go.
We often have to think about, how much fresh water are we going to use today? How much fresh water is that activity going to take? How much energy is that going to take? And I think that's really valuable, especially right now, that they learn, that it doesn't just come, that there is a limit to how much electricity you need and that's available, and fresh water as well. Composting toilet, which was super simple to put in. I really didn't want to deal with black water. We made a shower. So this is all real tile, which I wasn't really sure about. I thought it might crack or kind of vibrate out and break off, but so far it's been really sturdy. Made a little bench in there, and then this all goes down to a 55-gallon gray water tank. Vinyl imitation wood flooring, but it means it is completely waterproof. 55 gallons of freshwater storage, and it's under the bed there. The hot water heater is also hidden under the bed. The master suite, we got a queen size bed because we knew we needed some extra room for the kids to be in here. I built these cabinets, so all of Liz's clothes are up there. That side is mine, plus some towels. I kind of tried to keep a lot of this open, as much light as I could get. We blocked off the 3 windows there, give us a little bit of privacy and maybe a tiny bit of insulation. And then I also made a fold-out table here. Sometimes we take meetings back here. We've been to some pretty incredible places, and being able to just open up the back door and really kind of almost be outside and in bed at the same time is amazing. The bus was pretty cost effective for us. After buying the bus, I did all the work myself, and we tried to use as many free or used materials as we could. So once we got the bus kind of fitted out, it's been pretty cheap to live in it. Really all we're paying for is diesel fuel when we're moving a lot, and sometimes a campsite. We've been boondocking a lot, so
we did it for really cheap, like under, $15,000, but it's because we did all of the work in it. So if you have to pay other people to do the work, or you don't have the time to do the work, it definitely will cost more money.
This is our back door and the bike rack that I built. It's out of an old piece of pallet racking that I bolted on here, and the hippo, that's right. So I load all 3 bikes up there and ratchet strap them down, and it's good to go. Right now Pepper sits on the back here, and then Violet stands in between my legs there, and we cruise around. We have about 1,000 watts up there. So far they're working. I just found some corner brackets at Home Depot and drilled them right in there. It's been super sturdy so far. They're 24 volt panels, and I'm bumping them down to 12, so not the most efficient. But I bought a MPPT controller, which will convert them and make the most of what I've got. Instagram. We're at Chasing the Coastline. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you checking out our bus.